Oh, hooray! It's Friday Night Comics, and it's not it's Friday night here anyway. And for you it might be Saturday morning or Friday afternoon or whatever, but we got through yesterday, we got through today. We're here for Friday Night Comics. So welcome. It's the We Believe in Comics workshops at the Sequential Artists Workshop, or SAW. SAW is a 501c3 nonprofit school with a lot of courses, which you can find at sawcomics.org. For instance, graphic medicine 3-month deep dive, which starts January 20th, I think, and it's nearing selling out. So get those last few slots. Next week on Friday Night Comics, Sandra Dumay, sorry. Um, it's gonna be super fun, and she'll come in here next Friday. Okay. Oh yeah, we have a new podcast. It's called Drawing Health. You can find it by going to drawing by looking for Drawing Health in your podcasts, or also looking for Sequential Artist Workshop, or worst case scenario, look for Terrible Anvil. We're trying to get that changed, but it's in there in the first episode. Went last week, and it's gonna happen every Sunday. Um, Thank you for donating to anybody who did donate or was thinking about it or whoever donated. We really appreciate it. It helps us keep these events free and coming at you weekly, and it helps SAW not become a one-way bank. We are having an end of year fundraiser, so check your emails and we'll talk to you about that. Appreciate everybody's support. All right, please, no inappropriate speech or imagery. We're not doing a workshop today, we're just doing a reading. So that is up to our readers to keep it reasonably clean. We'll see how that goes. And we're not doing sharing, I guess, because we're not doing workshop, but if you like anything you see, definitely do hashtag Friday Night Comics and tag at Comics Workshop, and we will have all of the readers' social media and other ways to contact them in the chat as well. And not going to worry too much about the time tonight. Not going to worry about the PDFs. We're going to slide through all this stuff. Enjoy. This is our semi-annual, sometimes frequent, occasional SAW Comics reading. I want to give a shout out to Michael Ashner, who is the mastermind behind these and who is the kind guiding hand behind these as well, and who always just makes sure that not only are the readings super fun, but everybody's taken care of and ready and excited and all that stuff. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to hand it over to you, Michael. Are you
Thank you,
ready?
Tom. Yeah, well,
Well,
no, never really
do
ready,
you,
but I guess we'll
you have the
start
jitters?
anyway.
Do you want to be spotlit, or I'm laying in the background after this. So if you want to be spotlit, I'll spotlight let you.
No,
Otherwise,
you don't need to spotlight me because
okay.
I just want to say, well, one, I want to say there are going to be a couple of F-bombs and references to drugs. So that may be pushing the PG-13 a
It's all
little
right.
bit thing.
All right.
Just trigger warnings, everybody. But I think you'll find tonight's going to be a real buffet of very different comic styles and voices. And I did actually write kind of a formal introduction because even though I did improv for years, I doubt myself to this day. I just want to say tonight's reading, it's a celebration of material we, and not just the seven of us, but a very large group of people spent the last 6 months developing in Saw's graphic novel intensive. We want to think of this as a celebration of the work we did and the new friends we made, but it's also a celebration that we didn't give up, even though some of us hit walls with the work or pivoted to different projects. I don't want to name any names but me. But we kept going. And we hope at least one person watching tonight, I was talking a little earlier about Sarah Cox attending a reading just like this one a couple of years ago. And that something clicked for her. And she started making some really beautiful comments and sharing with us. So we hope that at least one person, maybe more, will be inspired by what you see tonight and take the next step in your own adventure of making comics or just decide to keep going. And our first reader tonight is going to be Jason Gale, who describes himself as a man making his way in the universe. I'm going to spotlight you, Jason. I'll share your comment from my screen. His favorite color is burgundy, forever and ever and ever. His favorite food, fish tacos, duh. His favorite guitar is the Gibson Flying V, and his favorite bass is the Epiphone El Capitan Acoustic. And here he is. I would have shared your comment from my screen, Jason. There we go. Jason will be reading an excerpt from High Asses in Babylon.
Yes.
Okay.
An excerpt from High Asses in Babylon. This is the story of Ozone Runs the Stop Sign, with an intro by Jorson Quells. Greetings, reader. The story you are about to witness takes place in a small town and begins with Ozone and Captain Zoom on LSD and pot, skateboarding down a steep road that dead ends at the Bodega Highway. It's a story told by Ozone in his own words, a story of quick thinking, pain, and an epiphany of his destiny. It's a story that I'm not in. In an instant, I saw myself hit and ran over, so I jumped. Wham, thump. I was hit and flew high into the air and passed out. Then I hit the ground. Ozone, acid rain. Bump. Captain Zoom would later tell me that it looked like I exploded into pieces. I became conscious. Why am I in the road? You were hit by a car. I saw black, green, and blue, and then passed back out. Again, I regained consciousness. I could hear cars going by. I thought I was in the Mad Max world, and the Reavers were coming to finish me off. But I didn't move. I didn't want to feel the pain I knew was there. I passed out. I became conscious again. There were tubes in my nose. I was in the Dune world. I was a Fremen, and my still suit was punctured, and my life's blood was flowing into the sand. Then they fucking moved me. I went berserk. Hey, ow. Keep him still. Stabilize his leg. Watch the compound fractures. My leg had swollen and burst like a hot dog. I passed out from the pain. Blip, 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 blip. When I came to in the hospital, a nurse was in a chair sobbing. Fuck, do I look that bad? Then I realized I knew her. I used to babysit her kids. So. Yep. 1/11/1986. 11/1/1968. Date of birth, 1/11. I had a cast all the way up to my thigh. They put steel plates with lots of nuts and bolts, holding my bones in place. The meds were all good, and at first I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. But it wasn't the drugs. I'm not just seeing things. The dates are backwards. It's like the accident was me being born. I am in a time warp. I'm here for a reason. This was no accident. Fate or destiny. Thank you very much.
Whoa.
You can follow Jason on Instagram, among other places. Beautiful job, Jason.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay, who's next up?
Really?
Next up,
I
Thanks,
think it's
Jason.
me.
give me a second to cue this up. Seeing a lot of hearts. Jason.
I don't know how I'm going to follow that, Jason. You just blew everything away. I I should have been your opening act.
And next up is Suzanne Cologne. I'm going to spotlight you while I read your intro, Suzanne. Suzanne Cologne is the creator of Wrestling Centaurs, the kick-ass epic comic where mythological creatures try to find their place in the modern world. She's a graduate of Sequential Artist Workshop's graphic novel intensive and year-long program. Suzanne draws and writes about comics in her newsletter like Totally on Substack, the home of the ongoing serialized comic Wrestling Centaurs. And here's Suzanne.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. Happy Friday night comics. Yay! All right.
Did you want to say a few words about this before we start reading, Suzanne?
Yes, I'll just let you know that the time is now, and we are in a place where, for a few generations now, humans have been inexplicably giving birth to mythological creatures, creatures from Greek mythology, centaurs, cyclopes, chimera, gorgons, you name it. And there's no explanation for this just yet. That'll come down the road. But there's nothing magical here. Our creatures have to pay rent, find the best bulgogi place. They're dealing with real life stuff. So the centaurs we're going to meet now are members of Creature Pro Wrestling, which is the next to the lowest ranked in all of New City. And they're hoping to be the top of the bottom of the league someday. But that day will probably not be today. That's all you need to know.
Awesome.
So yes, our title is Wrestling Centaurs in Because Boba. So just to let you know, this is the Creature Pro Wrestling building. There's some debate about whether they are in fact going to be New City's future champs. And this is Ari standing in the back, which is kind of the smoking area that leads to the backyard. Ari takes a seat on the steps and is joined by Jerry. Hey, Ari. Hi, Jerry. We're practicing throwing each other through tables today, right? Oh, crap. I don't know if I'm in the mood. Hey, are you okay? Yeah, actually, no, not really. Dude, what's wrong? My head tells me dumb shit sometimes, like that nobody really likes me and no one will ever love me. You know that's not true, Ari, but I feel the same way sometimes. You do? Blum. But Jerry, everybody loves you. You said it yourself. Our minds tell us dumb shit that's not true. And you know me and Frankie love you. Yeah, I always have you two jackasses. Hey, I have an idea. Let's go get some bubble tea. What? Why? Because boba, dude. Happy hands. Not convinced. A fun treat. Plus, we'll be around other beings, get the blood moving with a little gallop. Oh, fine, but I don't want to gallop. And here we are at the Temple of Boba. I love mango bubble tea. My favorite is the taro. Jerry sees a hot babe. Ooh, look cute, huh? Ooh, but human. Nope. You've never dated a human? No, they're so offensive. They're all, is it true that centaurs are hung like horses? Lol, it's so fetishizing. Ooh, it's so hot. Humans ask me that all the time. What do you say? I say, yup. Talk. Lol. I do feel better. Thanks, Jerry. Anytime, Ari. The end.
Get more wrestling centaurs at liketotallysubstack.com and Suzanne Clone. We're going to paste all the how to follow everybody into the chat.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Oh,
So
good.
much fun.
What's
And
next, Michael?
I think Suzanne's going to introduce me. Oh,
That's right. I do introduce you. Yay. All right. Next up, we have our wonderful host, Michael Ashner. Michael Ashner turned to making comics after a 37-year hiatus from visual art, during which he worked as an actor, playwright, animation screenwriter, and presentation designer. He'll be reading from his graphic memoir in progress, Dad Scattered, with his best friend, actress, playwright Bambi Everson. Please welcome Michael and Bambi.
thank you, Suzanne. An excerpt from Suffer Loudly by me. April 25th, 2025, 13 months after Dad died. Next week, we scatter my father's remains. My sister Terry calls them cremains, but that kind of sounds too much like a Kellogg's breakfast cereal. Dad's urn has been sitting on a shelf in Terry's garage for over a year. She's anxious to get rid of it. So she arranged everything. She booked an Airbnb upstate. She even found this picturesque waterfall where we'll do the deed. Although, to be honest, did Dad even like waterfalls? I mean, Grandpa loved mountains and Aunt Irma loved seagulls. What did Dad love? Uh, Sports, whiskey, uh, politics, uh, titty bars, definitely. Yeah, I guess the waterfall's a good choice. During Dad's final years, I lived just outside Philly. Terry and Dad lived in the suburbs of Boston. So Terry was Dad's de facto caretaker. That's very bad. I visited when I could, but probably not often enough. All I did was run the family complaint hotline. My sister typically called after an upsetting encounter.
So, guess who woke up my family at 3 a.m. complaining of chest pains?
Oh no.
Dad, I'm not a doctor. If you think it's serious, call an ambulance. I gotta be up in 3 hours for the new job I took to help pay your bills, you ungrateful prick.
Oh my God, did you actually say that?
Of course not.
Well, what did he say?
He hung up on me.
That doesn't mean to be such a pain in the ass.
Could have fooled me.
Well, he's alone, scared, and
Living with the choices that he made in life.
yeah, see, that's where we disagree. You think happiness is a choice. Yeah.
And obviously, Dad chooses to be miserable.
No, what about me? Do I choose to be miserable? Is that what you're
No,
implying?
no. I never. It's just, I work at being happy.
Because I don't remember signing up for depression, anxiety, or ADD.
All I'm saying is, I exercise, I eat right, I have an active social life, and I smoke a shit ton of weed.
Dad shared every morsel of toxic gloom with Terry, testing her tolerance for fatalism and self-pity. Fearing I was too fragile, he kept things from me, ashamed since I'm a compassionate listener. Oh, how you feeling, Pop? Never better. So we mostly discussed TV, movies, and politics, except for that one time. Let's face it, your sister hates me. Oh, I'm sure that's not true, Pop. Nah, I'm an unwelcome burden. Let me ask you this, and be honest. Am I better off dead? One time, Dad yelled at Terry for picking him up late for a doctor's appointment.
That's it. I'm done. He treats me like I'm his fucking employee. He's a bottomless pit of need, bro. He's hurting my marriage. He's ruining my life.
Okay. How can I help?
Uh, you deal with him for a while.
No problemo. Dad nearly lost his mind when Terry went on strike for a whole week. Spoken to your sister lately? Yeah, Pop. She just needs some time to cool off. How much time? Uh, you can't treat her like she's some kind of underling, okay? Tell her I'm sorry, please. Don't worry, I'm gonna check in every day. Oh God, I'm gonna die all alone. That's my dad and my dog Phoebe. They died 6 months apart.
Oh.
And you can follow me in all these places. Thanks, guys. And next up, we have Tobias Wheeler.
That's
Who are
me.
you, Tobias? There you
No
are.
webcam, unfortunately, but
That's okay. Um, I'm going to remove my spotlight though. And here are a few facts about Tobias. Tobias is a mostly self-taught artist from Grand Rapids, Michigan, who recently got into comics in earnest this year after focusing mostly on illustration, largely inspired by tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons. Here's Tobias.
okay. This is What About? It's an excerpt from the graphic novel I've been working on in the graphic novel intensive, called Bite Down. Whoosh. Flap, flap. Blair. Bwah. Whose animal messenger is this? Damn meddling council. I told them not to bother me. But does anyone listen? And all of you, don't think you get to slack off. No sitting around while I deal with honk. Damn bird. Damn squires. Laugh all you want. You'll work thrice as hard as me. Get into pairs and spar. We'll move out in the afternoon. Flap. Oh, and don't kill each other. Flap. Right. Pair up. Make sure everyone has a partner. Fane, I insist we spar together, so no one else gets hurt. Give signal when you're ready to begin. D? Bang! Clang! Oh? Apologies. I thought you were ready. I suppose you didn't expect the power behind my swing. Do you think you're truly ready now? Or do you already yield? And that's it. That's the end.
So good, Tobias. Oh,
Oh,
man.
and then
Okay, thank you so much.
thank you.
Okay, next up. All right, I'm going, hang on. Discuss amongst yourselves. Gotta queue up the next presentation, which I did want to do while I was listening to Tobias read. Second, there we are. Okay. Next up is our friend Andrew Templeton. And my screen shut off with all my introductions. Most of Andrew's creative life has been spent working in theater both in Canada and the UK, primarily as a playwright. He joined the SAW GNI program to work on a graphic memoir, Politely Drowning, about a time of personal collapse, which will hopefully also be funny. He recently launched a webcomic on Instagram called Charismatic Megafauna. Okay, Andrew, I'm going to share
Thanks,
yours
Michael.
from my screen. Here we go.
And just Michael, first off, I just want to thank you for being our for organizing this and being our gentle and wise supporter through getting this all done. It was amazing. And of course, thanks to Tom and Saw for the GNI, which was a phenomenal experience for me. Um, I joined the GNI with the idea of working on a graphic memoir, as Michael said in the introduction, about a time of collapse. And it was very much linked to a time when my mom was experiencing dementia. And she had a very hideous form of dementia, and it was heartbreaking for me. And there's a nice synchronicity to this. It's Boxing Day up here in Canada, and Boxing Day was my mom's favorite holiday. And I have a deep connection with mom over Boxing Day because I used to put out the Boxing Day lunch. So this is for mom, and it feels very right that I should be sharing it today with you of all days. Ziggy was my best friend. Mum was fascinated by him, always asking after his parents who dodged the Vietnam War. Although we lived near one another, Ziggy and I met downtown at City School. He was 9 and I was 10. City School was a public experiment in alternative education with about 100 misfit kids like us. And downtown was our classroom. The used bookstore where we hunted for collections of Peanuts comic strips. The art gallery where we acted like critics of Emily Carr. Co-op radio, where we made radio plays written by Danny. I was the lead, Professor Higginbottom in Revolt of the Food. The cinema, where we sat through a sweeping documentary about post-colonial conservation in Uganda. Ziggy, the kid engineer, was a legend. But in grade 8, I switched schools, lured by the promise of academic structure. Instead of 100 misfit kids, I became the lone weird kid from the weird school. A year later, I saw Ziggy at a science fiction convention. I'd changed. I was thinner from the anxiety of my new school, and I'd started wearing glasses. But Ziggy had changed more. He was a punk. I'd never seen a punk before. I was shocked. Neither of us knew how to act. Sorry, neither of us knew how to act. That was the last time I saw Ziggy, and the first time I lost him. An ordinary kind of loss, friends drifting apart, following different paths. Why am I thinking about this now? Because I found out from Facebook that Ziggy has died. The obit said he was still Ziggy, brilliant, creative, entertaining, and the best hang. But he also lived with chronic pain, I suspect not just physical. He died of fentanyl poisoning, and it was gutting. Later, someone posted a photo of us, two boys who'd once loved each other, but who never reached out as the years passed. I told Mum about Ziggy. Oh, that's it. She didn't remember him, the boy who'd been a part of our lives. She'd not only forgotten Ziggy, but she'd forgotten the me who was best friends with him. foreshadowing everything else. Sorry, foreshadowing everything I would lose with her. And that's it. Thank you. And the links here are actually to Charismatic Megafauna, and it's a project that I started with the pandemic, and it's the tagline is "When pet names get out of hand." So these are verbatim conversations with my wife Jill, and only I'm drawn more or less like myself as much as I can, and then Jill is shown as a giant Flemish rabbit with a golden rabbit. So it's it's worth checking out, I hope. So thank you, and thank you again, Michael, for hosting.
Thank you, Andrew. God, I mean, I've heard you read this several times, and it still always gets me right in the gut. It's
Oh,
beautiful
thank you,
work.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up is, where are you? There you are. It's our friend Demetria. Demetria Tacunbo is a writer, researcher, and cartoonist living in Oakland, California. She's published children's books with Tilbury House, Boyd's Mills Press, and Scholastic Press, and created art for Harriet's Apothecary, the Center for Anti-Violence Education, and the Brooklyn's Children's Museum. Before moving to the Bay Area and completing an MFA in comics at California College of the Arts, Demetria raised her two daughters in Brooklyn, New York.
Thank you. Let's see here. Butterfly Spirit by Demetria.
We're not seeing anything yet, Demetria.
Oh no.
That's
Okay.
okay.
Okay, well, it started. Now I have to go back. Hold on. Oh, okay.
You queued it up, but you didn't hit share yet.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay.
No worries, a little fumbling is embedded in saw culture.
Well, at least I stopped crying. Oh, I was so worried that I was going to be sobbing when you got to me.
I know, I almost let out a but I held it in.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's try this again. All right. Oh, man. Well, I don't know why the top is still like that.
And we're not seeing the image.
Yeah.
Did you try present from this device? Is that what worked last time?
Okay, share. You are sharing screen. Share device audio. I'm going to stop share and try again.
Yeah, try again.
Okay.
Look at it.
Okay. Okay. All right, so when I press share, I see screen. I'm going to tap that.
Right.
Okay. And then start broadcast. It's 3, 2, 1.
And then you just toggle to the presentation.
Okay. Okay, are you
There
seeing
it
it
is.
now?
Yep, beautiful.
Phew, okay.
We'll fix that in post, Demetria.
Looks
Don't worry.
great. Looks great.
Okay. Okay. Oh no. Ah.
It's okay. It always happens, Demetria. No worries.
Okay. All right, it's loading. I got so excited, I just started tapping the screen and it says that it's loading. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that happened in tech. And then we found out
It did.
it was a different option that worked. It looked like it looked like you had it, and then we lost
If you go to share, I think what happened in tech was you said you did the present to this meeting option.
Yeah.
Present to a meeting. And then
okay, that's what I'm trying now. Okay, this looks promising.
We're seeing a black screen now.
That's what you should be seeing.
Oh,
And now it
good.
should start. Please start.
It started.
Butterfly Spirit. My first book is almost done, except for one small glitch. She says to change the art on your dedication page to pigeons, since it's a city book. You gotta be kidding me. There are butterflies in the city. Okay, let's see what I can do. I'll call you right back. And guess what flies right in front of my face as the art director is calling back? So yeah, the original art stays as is. Years later, while I wait for my youngest daughter, Mercy, to get ready for a Soulfire Farm solstice party, I check my email. You are invited to my midsummer seance. What's so funny, Ma? Stretch, yawn. Oh, I was invited to a seance. As if. What do I look like, some kind of Harry Houdini? That is pretty funny. Oh well, on to the next thing. We have 15 minutes till it's time to go. It won't be too funny if we miss the bus. Mom, stop worrying. We're gonna make it. Just as Mercy predicts, we make it to the bus on time. She happily sleeps the whole way. Me, not so much. We're here. Mom, please don't tell people you're my mother. Why not? Don't you love me anymore? Love you always, Mom. It's the ageism I can't stand. Got it. Speaking of love, do you hear that beat? Boom, kiss, boom, kiss, boom, kiss, boom, kiss. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mercy dances the night away, literally. And as the sun considers rising, I continue fading. The aches in my head throb in time to the music. Boom, kiss, boom, kiss, boom, kiss, boom, kiss. When folks start saying their goodbyes, my night takes an unexpected turn. Can we talk? Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka. Yeah, sure. You're gonna think I'm bonkers, but can I hold your hands? Sure. I don't know why I'm crying. I never do this. Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka. Boom, boom. This is very serious. May I give you a message? Sure. I know who this message is from. I did not expect a message from beyond at this dance party. Is this woman okay? Am I okay? Boom, 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 boom. The following Monday, I call my mother. I don't know, maybe it's real. I mean, I do believe Grammy sends a yellow tiger swallowtail. Whenever I'm deeply discouraged, tap, tap, tap. Geek. I want to go back. So you just missed a slide that said Mitri. There's this new variety of butterfly in my garden this year. And I watched those yellow butterflies attack, rip off the wings, and eat them. And you think that yellow butterfly is my mother? Okay, Mom, but think about where I'm living. Brooklyn, New York. Doesn't it make sense that my guardian angel would show up kind of tough and scary? Time to tear off these old pages. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. What the? To be continued.
Oh, is it?
That's it. That's me.
Beautiful to meet you.
Amazing.
Some people make art that looks so delicious, you just want to sink your teeth into it.
When
Or
you finally get to see it.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about how, for me at least, one of the themes of the GNI was not giving up, and you stuck with it despite the little hiccups. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. And closing us out is our friend who there she is.
Can you take it back from me? Because I
Yeah.
can't seem to.
Yeah.
And mute me too, please.
I have to find it. Okay. It is Paige Lund, who taught
Lundy.
art. I'm sorry.
Lundy.
I screwed it up even though we did a tech rehearsal.
That's okay.
Damn.
I like it.
Paige Lundy, who taught art and photography for 29 years and recently finished her PhD in philosophy. She's thrilled to draw and hopes to bring her love of philosophy to life through storytelling.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you, Michael. And I just appreciate you meeting with us and facilitating this. And I just appreciate everybody for coming. And I'm so excited to read after all the hard work. It's so fun to be able to share it. So let's go. So, Michael, you're going to share it?
Oh, I thought you were going to share
I
it.
could do it. Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, you
Fine.
share.
Okay, can you see it?
Mm.
Okay. So this is an excerpt from my graphic novel so far, Null Mass. No. Don't do this. Bring me back to my body, my breath, to feel this failure, to remember this name. So near the end, the nothing. That feeling, this pain. Is it mine or hers? You brought me back for her, that face, that name. I can't remember, but that feeling, I can't forget. What does a name mean? Or a face without the I? This nameless, faceless I takes comfort in forgetting everything that was stolen from it, everything that I ever wanted, and everything I've done, leaving just a body behind, a memory drowning in breath. Yes, my eye shaped her world, but the eye has no body, no organs, no substance weighing it down. The eye sees, and free from memory, the eye soars above it all, blameless, leaving these organs, this me behind. Inside our history, feel the filth, feel our past, all the mud, blood, and poison of life. You're left with all these things you never wanted and denied the one thing you think you need. But my death is my own, is mine to own. You may be the match, but the eye is the fire. My organs may be yours to burn. And you may want to cut my eye into pieces to fit your reflection, to consume reality. But my eye is mine to shape. This eye will be free. But this eye will fly. Thank you.
Whoa.
Thanks, everybody.
Oh my God.
We developed a saying at Tech called "Nobody wants to follow Paige." That was amazing. Thank you, Paige. So now
Thank
what
you.
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spotlight all the readers at the same time. We'll all be here together. At
Oh.
least it worked out in my head. Oh, I did replace instead of. I have ADD, everybody. So add spotlight, not replace, add spotlight. Tobias will be here in spirit. Pretend Tobias is here.
Yeah.
Jason, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, pretend Jason and pretend Tobias is here too. And we'll take questions from anybody. If anybody has a question or comment they want to share, just raise your hand like at regular Friday Night Comics. But first, I'm going to ask some questions because I have them written right here. Jason, where are you, Jason, dude? Yeah, so what I want to know what influences the style of your comics.
Well, I just made a comment about Page's art that actually is a big influence on me, which is Heavy Metal Magazine. I started reading when I was 7, and that was pretty much when it entered the US. My mom was a subscriber because she loved science fiction, and I happen to know where she stashed those Heavy Metal magazines, and I read all of them from the beginning. So that's kind of where I get mine. And I'm Paige, I'm serious. If you want to be in Heavy Metal magazine, I can help make that happen.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. I just had a friend send me Metal Hurlant,
Oh
like
yeah,
the European, I guess, version. So yeah, I was just gonna look through it.
I'm part of something called the Angry Mob of Heavy Metal magazine.
Oh,
Don't ask me why, but we have special privileges and special input.
Yeah, Jason has connections. I have one more question for you. You've been around SAW for a while. I've seen you go through a couple of programs. How have the programs at SAW helped you develop High Asses in Babylon?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah, because I think you're the only one who wrote High Asses in Babylon, Jason.
The quick answer is I was in the hospital. Just had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer that metastasized to my liver, and they said they couldn't believe that I made it there. It was a miracle that I lived. And they said it was going to be a long road to recovery. And I'm not used to being in a hospital bed for any length of time. And I don't watch TV. So I didn't really have anything to do. And my son, who came and started taking care of things for me, who's on this call, actually, he's in here somewhere, Orion. He brought me this iPad that I'm talking to you through and an Apple Pencil and installed Procreate. And that allowed me to start writing and to start drawing, something I hadn't done in so long because my career before all that, I was basically flying around the world, always on a plane, always in an office in some other place, never home, and never playing my guitar, never drawing, and never writing. My handwriting was horrible. So I was doing that for the first few days, and then a friend of mine who's also a comic and an animator that I've been following since 2004, named Jennifer Scheinman, a longtime member of Saw Community. She had these 30-second bunny troop reenactments of movies. She had some success, was on Stars Network. And she wrote me and said she was sad to hear about me having this cancer diagnosis, but she was taking this 6-month graphic novel course that was really amazing as part of this Saw community, which was just an incredible group of people who were super supportive and very, very cool. And you should check it out. And so I did. And I was hooked pretty much immediately. That's how I got started on that. And High Asses in Babylon, to finish up, was a comic that got started by the High Asses themselves in 1986, including myself, a bunch of ne'er-do-wells. And it didn't make it very far because everybody had financial issues and living quarter issues. And, we were only 16 and we all went kind of crazy. But it got suggested to me by them that I should, if I'm going to do comics, I should rehash that one and build it again. There it is.
That's awesome, Jason. Thanks for sharing all that. I see we do have a question from Barry Sawicki.
Guys, can you hear me okay, Michael?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Okay, great. I wanted to ask Demetria, I didn't catch what her history with comics is. And the reason why I'm curious is because she has a very good sense of color and her page layouts were really, really kinetic and interesting. So I just wanted to get a little bit more information about that.
Thank you. So in another life, about oh gosh, more than 20 years ago, I was trying to get a children's book published. And by trying to get that one children's book published, I ended up getting 5 other children's books published. And the last one that I did was in 2009. But kind of like Jason's story, I had hip surgery in 2017, and it was only supposed to take me 3 months to recover. And after a year, I was still in a lot of pain and couldn't go back to the office.
Mhm.
And then fast forward, well, my daughter got me an iPad and an Apple Pencil. And my mom got me some paint markers and a fancy sketchbook. And I've been using art as a way of emotional survival, since I could pick up a pencil. But the reason that the layouts are so cool is because I just got my MFA in comics from CCA, and I was able to audit this class this last semester, and they took me to a manga exhibit. And there was one wall where this Japanese artist was devoted to his comic. And guess what the little magical thing was? A yellow tiger swallowtail butterfly. And after seeing that, I knew I had already done this comic, and it was in a hurry. And I always wanted to go back to it and do it again. And I just did it in a week. I just went back and I redid the layouts. And so that's totally influenced by manga. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm going to keep asking questions. Anybody from the audience, just raise your hand if you want to ask anything. But this is for everybody. So everybody unmute. Let's pretend we're hanging out in a room, because I thought Demetrius said something very interesting about using comics for emotional survival. Does that resonate with you guys? I want to hear about that.
Oh, hell yeah.
I wouldn't, it's the thing that's been taking me through the last 2.5 years of horrible chemotherapy hell and not being able to really socialize at all. My immune system's so low. And having this outlet, and especially the Saw community, but having the ability to draw and to write. I do it every day, like throughout the day. It's a big part of getting through this Yeah, maybe I probably would be gone, long gone ago. If I had just had to watch TV and didn't have art or creative, I probably would have gave up.
I hear that. Suzanne,
No more.
I heard a hell yeah from you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So the last 2-ish years for me, my mom has been going through some pretty intense health issues. And there were a bunch of times that I was drawing the comic, this one and other ones, from, hospital waiting room or the cardiac care unit or, the gastrointestinal unit or something like that. I've learned that if anybody has to go into the hospital or wait in a hospital for a loved one, make comics. They will keep you
Mm.
sane. Um, in addition to the sanity and the serenity that I feel when I draw and specifically draw comics, um, it's also like you just learn how to kill your perfectionism because the fact that I'm doing this at all, instead of like biting my nails or just sitting worrying or something like that, I was like, no, I have a comic to do. And I just want to thank everybody with my whole heart for all the lovely comments that I got in the chat, and especially from my Wild Peas, the YLPs, year-long program people who are my friends here. Uh, it is because of the reaction to the centaurs that I kept doing it because people found them funny.
I think you should make a bumper sticker in the comic that says "Visualize wild peas."
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But yeah, the comics really just saved me these past 2 years, and I think will continue to do so as much as Jason said, and
You know, one
Demetria as well.
one thing I noticed about doing comics while I'm waiting in the waiting room at the infusion center and different the cancer research center and stuff is that there's a lot of other people in there. Everybody's wearing masks, but people are looking at what I'm doing, and some of them are just sitting there, some of them are reading magazines, whatever their materials are. But a few of them ask me like, "Oh, what are you doing? Is that a comic? You drawing that?" And I'll tell them about Saw, and I'll tell them about how the art has got me through so many things, and they're like, "Oh, my son or my daughter or my niece or somebody loves doing comics. They're really into this thing. Like, what'd you say that community was called?" And I tell them sequentialartistsworkshop.org or sawcomics.org. You can read different things on there, but it's a great community, and I think they would dig it. And I've done that a few times in the lobby waiting. So it's not just killing time for me, but it's actually influencing people who don't know about Saw and what a great place is, an outlet. Don't just do comics alone.
Oh,
I think for my answer to your question, Michael, would be that about the time when the pandemic hit, also was this really specific time in my life, and I'd been really I'd kind of quit theater and I was trying to write film scripts, and I was getting and I don't use this term lightly, I was getting manic, and all of my success as a creative person had been attached to script writing, so it became hugely high value, way too high a value. And I couldn't do it anymore. And then I kind of just started drawing, going back right back to the very thing that that was my first love, was drawing. And I found that all that pressure was just gone, and just joy, just being able to do it. And that's continued on through the SAW program too. Like there's been, times where you think, oh, am I going to get this deadline or whatever? But it always seems to go back to being there's just a lot more ease to it. And my level of self-criticism has really dropped. And thank a lot of it has to do with the feedback from the community. And it's been this, um, yeah, it's just this kind of it's just easier. And the one thing I'll also just say is like I'm of a we're of a similar age, Michael. Like I'm 60, and it's like I wish the graphic novels that people have now, I wish they existed when I was 20. Like I feel I missed out. Like it was just Marvel and DC. Like if there had been, or if I'd been more curious. So this is the great thing, is there's just such a wide variety of expression in comics that I find it so exciting. Like I think it's just an exciting venue for creativity.
Andrew, first thing I noticed when I first encountered you online on Saw, and we were in a group together and talking about things, is I noticed when you said you were doing screenwriting or playwriting, it really carries over into your comics. You really have a better gauge and perspective of the overall story. Like mine's just sort of wild and I'm just ripping it out the way it came through, right? And you've got orchestration and structure and really, more polish. I'm just telling you, I noticed that right away. And Michael is just something similar because I know he was
Yeah,
in
he does.
screenwriting, but it definitely shows.
Yeah,
Thank you
Andrew
so
and
much.
I have some eerie parallels in our
We
lives.
do.
We've both come from theater, we've both done screenwriting, but also there's something you said about circling back to something that gave you joy when you were younger. Reminds me of
Hmm.
me and my friend here, Suzanne, who actually met years ago at an art high school that I think killed our desire to make art. And then we turned back to it later in life in the form of comics and have found it to be very healing. And, it was around the same time we both circled back to it. I've noticed other people circling back to art later in life. Something got in the way or something discouraged them when they were younger.
Hmm.
It's interesting. Paige, did you want to say something about emotional survival or processing? Because there's a
Oh,
lot going on in your comic.
yeah. Yeah, what I shared tonight is an excerpt out of a much longer story. So, it's needs the rest of the story really to make more sense. But it's drawing has always been so important for me. And it's some of the favorite things that I've done my whole life is just making art. It feels like such a big part of me. And I've had a lot of loss in my life and a lot of trauma. And my husband and I wrote the story together, but it's how we processed dealing with like 5 or 6 big traumas in our lives. Over the last 3 years, we wrote this story. It's like the last 30 seconds of this woman's life, and she has to face what she did to other people and what happened to her. And then she's going to go back in time in a way. So she's going to end up in this place in 1940 when she was 16. And she's an elderly woman. Like she's just going to end up there and start like going through these moments of things that happen. And so I think there's something unique about drawing and engaging your hand. It extends your
Hmm.
thinking and and then combining that with storytelling. I think that's what helps heal the trauma is that you're having to put like a face and an image to what you're feeling, and I feel like that is so important in helping you process it. Like you have to deal with it in the present. Does that make sense? So,
No
and that's,
AI
Absolutely.
can do that. No
Yeah.
AI is feeling those feelings and processing their feelings.
yeah, it's like it doesn't matter if AI can make things. It's like we need to appreciate that we're experiencing making. And that's what makes us special. So AI.
Well said, Paige. I see a question from Rob, and then I have some questions for Tobias, who isn't on camera but is with us.
I'm here.
So,
Oh yeah.
hey, remember Tobias? Hey,
Yeah.
Rob, how are you?
Hey, good to see you. So, Paige, I have a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
Um, I was intrigued to hear that you just got your PhD in philosophy, and I'm curious as to like your specific area of philosophy and how it influences your storytelling. Because my background is in philosophy as well, so I'm always
Oh,
interested in seeing attempts at bringing it into comics.
yeah. Oh, how interesting. I love philosophy because I did poorly in school. When I was younger, I didn't pay attention. I drew. I did okay, but I can do philosophy now. But it's because I grew up and found out what my learning disability kind of things are in a way, and then I went back to school and I was able to get a degree in philosophy of art theory and aesthetics.
Great.
So I went to a great program, Institute for Doctoral Studies in the Visual Arts, and I looked all over for a program. And this program, we went every summer for 3 years. Like we lived in a castle in Italy for a month, and we studied with philosophers in Italy. And then we went to Siena and Venice, and then the next summer we went to Paris, Berlin, and Istanbul. And then the professor that started it was a dean at Brown. And so it started the school in 2007 and it was accredited in 2013. So
Wow.
it helped me think because I want to be part of the history of dialogue. I don't want to just be outside of it, seeing everyone else in social media take over dialogue. I want to be, speaking in the dialogue. So um, I try to integrate the ideas I'm interested most in, which happens to be education, but I also I'm interested in time and how we experience time, like Henri Bergson. I don't know if you know who you know, obviously, and Heidegger.
Illusion. It's an illusion.
Heidegger, yeah.
So I'm just trying to integrate time into comics. Like I have an ink blot. I have like these mass images that are all gooey. That's Heidegger's being towards death because it's lurking below some of the scenes. So like a lot of the scenes you would find like philosophical concepts. I think it would be so fun to make like a little booklet that just has 30-second philosophy bites and it has like different sections of the comic where it's like accentuates like a little idea or something.
From different times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very
Cool.
clear that like uh ontology was a big part of your project here.
Hmm.
From page one.
Hmm.
Um, so it's interesting that this is like, you know, how much of this, if any of it is digital, how much of it is handmade? And then I guess my final question kind of
Mhm.
going into that is what other comics or other media were you looking at to kind of gain to for inspiration to do this kind of project?
Let's see. Well, the first question, wait, you said about ontology, like,
Well, that was just more of a comment of
oh,
like,
okay.
clear, this is like your project. The first question is your process. How much of it is digital? How much of it
Yeah.
is analog? And the second question is, what other comics or other media were you looking at to gain inspiration for the storytelling?
I'll just show you, like, I draw everything on paper first, and I have about 20 big 11 by 14 books of just sketches of everything's like drawn out first with pencil, and
Yeah,
then I take it into Photoshop to ink it and to add layers and color and different things.
cool.
And then
I love the
this is,
density of it.
oh, good, because it's my first project, and my husband's loved comics since he was little and always wanted to do something. And we worked together on it, and I'm typically a painter, but I think it's such a great medium because you get the element of time sequence and you get to do design layout, which I love design, like graphic design, fonts and lettering. Just adds a whole nother layer that makes it so fun. You know, is that all of the questions? Did I?
Yeah, and just other comics or other media that maybe inspired you.
Oh, I love Parker by Darwin Cook.
Oh,
Oh, I
interesting.
just got that.
Oh,
Mhm.
Mhm.
just the graphics, wow. But I don't like the content, the way he like just makes women unimportant in it. And it's all the man. It's the story. It's the story, Parker. I get it. So,
Well, it's an
um,
adaptation of I haven't read it yet, but I watched a documentary about Darwin Cook and
there's
just became obsessed and bought two books by him,
oh,
including Parker. It's right
oh wow.
on the top of my to read list.
I love Astris Polyp and uh who else? The Tongues book is really good.
Yeah, you're hitting some highlights there.
Sounds
Yeah.
like you really like the art part of
Charles Byrne has really nice
Yeah,
design.
I was gonna mention like looking
Mm.
at the density of your pages if you looked at Charles Burns. So that's cool.
I like so many, but I'm trying to make my own, but Yeah, I just don't know. It's just so much interesting things out there. It gets a little overwhelming.
You know what
Sure.
you sound like? You sound like somebody who's trying to pick a tattoo, but they have so many things they want to tattoo on themselves.
Yeah,
It's hard to track sometimes because especially as we get older, we absorb so much, and it's hard sometimes to track
right.
what's happening, you know.
Hmm.
But listen, thanks for the great questions, Rob. I want to loop Tobias into the conversation because he's
Hello.
off camera, but with
Oh,
us. And
Yes.
Tobias, I wanted to ask a little more about your influences and how Dungeons and Dragons plays into your work. And I think you mentioned a whole series of role-playing stuff.
Yeah, I've been playing tabletop RPGs since like my freshman year of high school. Um, Mostly Dungeons and Dragons, but like Pathfinder, Starfinder, Shadow of the Demon Lord, uh, uh, and more sci-fi stuff as well, but less than fantasy. Um, uh, the main character of my graphic novel is adapted from a character I played for over 3 years. And so I got really like into her mental and just like um thinking about the way that she thinks and like the motivations that she has to do the things that she does got me to where I could envision like an entire story that I could move through using a comic. And you mentioned in my bio that this was kind of my first year doing comics.
Mm.
So I wanted something that I was like very well versed in to kind of anchor me into going into a medium that I wasn't necessarily super confident in yet. So D&D and like the language of fantasy in regards to like tabletop kind of was able to get me confident enough in the story to be able to like work more on figuring out how to translate it into comics.
So, and you mentioned that your background previously was in illustration. So, what was helpful about having that illustration background when you were transitioning into comics, and what was challenging about transitioning between these two art forms?
A lot of like the fundamentals are the same as far as like perspective and anatomy and that sort of thing. I will say it did make it a lot harder to pare back on like details because I do everything digitally even in my illustrations, but I tend to really render a lot and do more like a painterly style in my illustrations. And I've done line art before, but not to the extent of like drawing so many panels and so many pages.
Uh,
Um, so being used to having a lot of detail and having a lot of rendering in my paintings, and then not being able to do that for every panel uh,
yeah.
was pretty rough. Just basically trying to figure out how much detail to do without killing myself having to do it over and over again.
And I would assume drawing the same characters over and over is different.
Oh yeah. It's
And
actually really been helpful in like solidifying my anatomy and my being able to like draw the same features from different angles and stuff. Because usually with an illustration, I would just like have a subject that is for that illustration and then move on to a different subject. But having characters that I'm redrawing, it I have to be accountable to my own designs, basically.
sure.
Your art
Well,
is epic for that kind of stuff. The action behind it is, I'm a little envious of how cool it is. The cool factor is big.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I played
Well,
Dungeons and Dragons
the
like most of my life.
the work is so beautiful, Tobias.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that this is new for you. So we have time just for me to ask one more question to each of our readers. So I want to ask Suzanne a question. Um, because I noticed I can't like host and share presentations and follow the chat. I've barely been able to see anything that's happening in chat, but I did notice that you were like, Paige has all these lofty ambitions in her work, right? And you wrote you just like drawing hot centaurs.
Yeah.
But my question is, I feel like there's a lot more going on about othering and
Yeah.
feeling out of step. Can you speak to maybe some of the allegorical themes that are happening in this work? Because they really jumped out at me.
I'm glad. I'm glad. And I'm going to speak briefly about it because I want to ask you a question. You've been a great host and you're very generous, but I want to sort of put you on the spot with some of your questions, or I have questions for you. But I'm glad that the deeper meaning is seen because that's part of what Wrestling Centaurs is about, is it is for people, and especially young people, who in this time are being othered unnecessarily, who are being shut down, hidden, told that they are not part of things. I find this to be the work of a few people with a platform and not the greater sentiment of the population. So I want to speak visually to young people who feel that they are being pushed out and bring them back in and say, I see you, I love you, you are loved, you are a part of things. Don't let anybody tell you that you are wrong or not, or that you have to change. The centaurs and the other creatures are trying to find a place in a society that was not built for them. And they're tolerated, but, mostly as entertainment. And, sometimes they can't find a bathroom that works for them, or something like that.
Sometimes they're
Um,
butting heads
yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
exactly. So I want people to know that they're seen, they're loved, they're accepted. And I had the great joy of giving one of the zines, one of the Wrestling Centaurs zines, to some young people at a comic shop recently. And the young
Right.
person looking at it said, oh, wow, these guys are just like me.
Oh, cool.
And I pretty much almost, melted on the spot. And I thought, mission
Yeah.
accomplished. Okay, I'm doing my job here. So yeah, they go out and they get drunk and high and whatever. Uh, and it seems, and they're very foul-mouthed, like their mother. But yeah, I want people to, who feel that they're being othered, to know that they're seen and loved. So Michael, now I want to ask you a question.
Well,
Can I do
before you
that?
jump on that, because I have a follow-up to that for
Yeah.
you, because I seem to remember this Wrestling Centaurs was a breakthrough for you, right? It was you were held up. I had a block for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, just bam, here it is, and it just all started coming forward, right?
Yeah.
Wrestling Centaurs jumped onto the scene, and it was just what you needed.
Yes, exactly. I have Tom to thank for that, because Wrestling Centaurs came out of one of the exercises in the year-long program about taking random images, words, and this and that, and putting them together in one thing. And it ended up being like early Jerry going for a job interview with Dwayne, the manager, the Griffin manager of Creature Pro Wrestling. Can you fight, kid? Not really. Yeah. Well, I'll try you out. I'm short a guy. Okay, thanks.
I remember that moment being really big. Like it was just boom. Like
Yeah,
Susie
I
Q's
went
got
off.
something huge. It's just like if something happened. It's like Now
It
she's
was
flowing. Look at this thing. Oh my God, there's like a whole comic already, like out of nowhere.
within a month. I had a couple of years worth of material, and I want to give a shout out and a huge thank you to Rob Clow, who just latched onto this idea. It was like, okay, this is your life's work. You know, you need to do this for like the rest of your life. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Because Rob is also a wrestling fan. So he's like, yeah, I need this.
Awesome. Awesome. Sorry, you had that question for Michael. I just wanted to add that because I remember that moment.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you,
got 3
Jason.
minutes left.
3 minutes. All right, Michael.
What
I
did
want to
you-
ask you, how has Saw impacted your comics making?
Oh, that's a great question. And actually, I'm sure we could all answer it. So I've said this a bunch of times, like I circle back to art late in life, comics specifically, but I was kind of doing it in a vacuum. Um, and I was very frustrated with my limitations as an artist. I think maybe one of the things that stopped you and I when we were teenagers is feeling like we weren't good enough, or we were finally meeting people, from all 5 boroughs who were much better, and we didn't feel like the thing that we thought was special about us was special anymore because we met people who
Inner
were even more
critic.
special. Um, okay, that just gave me an ADD brain fart, Jason.
Sorry.
What was I? What was I going to say, Suzanne?
There's a
Help
class
me.
about that, right?
Help me
You were
out. I
saying
don't know
that
if it's
when
about the inner critic. It's just if you grow up loving to draw and you think you're good at it, it becomes part of your core identity. Then you go to a special art school and you realize, oh, you're not as good as you thought you were because you
by
see
the
people much
teachers,
better.
by the
I-
teachers' standards,
Yeah.
better by teacher standards. But I
or
agree
even
with
by your
what
peers. And it feels like
Or
something
by a
is
form,
taken.
right?
by
It feels like,
form.
but it feels like
Yeah.
something's taken away from you. You lose something, you
Yeah.
lose part of your identity.
Yes,
So when I circled back years later
right.
and I started, I couldn't even stand. I was so frustrated with my limitations as an artist. I started taking art classes, and that led me to Saw. And what I discovered with Saw was the community and the creative home I didn't even know that I was looking for, but desperately needed. Working alongside other people who are trying to get good at comics, and some of us, especially later in life, redefine what success means, how we measure it. So at 62, just making comics feels successful.
Yes.
And working alongside so many other people who are just trying to get as good at this art form as each of us can be. Maybe not drawing like our heroes, but drawing to the best of our ability at any given moment, which changes as we grow and stick with it. So I've made friends. I don't even like people, but I've made new friends at Saw. And some of those friendships have extended beyond the computer. It helped reunite with my high school buddy Suzanne, and I see, the people who come here to watch us read tonight, who have become just so dear to me. It just it fills me up. But we're at 8:30, so
Michael,
yeah.
when I first got to Saw, you were one of the first people that I interfaced with when I was trying to check out these Starlight Studios or whatever, and I didn't understand what they were. And seeing you were moderating, and you were very on top of it, seemed very calm. And when I looked at your art for the first time, I thought, wow, this guy's been doing this forever. Like, this is one of his lifers. So good. Amazing art, and just got the calm demeanor. And I think I presented something that had a really, I was doing a pangram representation, a sentence with all the letters of the alphabet. And it was, when I read it out, it was a little bit shocking. You're like, whoa. I was like, wow, you haven't heard that before, but you must have been doing this forever. And that shocks you. It was something, it had some words in it that I didn't think were shocking, but apparently they were. But that was my perception of you right off the bat. And it took me a long time to have that be narrowed down to, how I see the real Michael now, which is still legendary art and just a lot more depth to the person, in the history.
Well, thank you, Jason. I think a lot of us we don't know what everybody else is struggling with or what blocks, or some of us struggling to just give ourselves permission to draw or give ourselves permission to do the thing that nourishes us. And sometimes the world wants to take it away, and sometimes we've got to reclaim it. I feel like I didn't get to Demetria with some questions. Let me just, I know we're going a little bit into overtime. Just take a little more time. I'd like to ask you the same question, Demetria. What have you gotten out of Saw?
You must want me to cry again. I think for me, it was having a place that feels safe, and encouraging, no matter what it was that I was trying to share, that there was always a voice of encouragement to come back to me to say, keep going. I want to know more. I love what you're up to, that kind of positive affirmation. But also the fact that, like once I graduated, I needed kind of a space to legitimize my obsession. Like I couldn't just draw, it felt like I could be interrupted at any time. But if I had a Zoom, with people that were also serious about this thing, that I could carve this time out and say, look, I've got this goal. I have to do this. And another thing that really, really helped me was the zero draft.
Yeah.
I still don't know what that is, but
basically you have 30 days to do your whole book, but you're not going to do your whole book in 30 days. And so it was like the impossibility of it freed me to just do what I could do. And what I could do was 75 pages. Like, what?
I did see that burst out, like amongst a few of you. Yeah.
It's just because it was for me, and I did it the way that I wanted to do it. And it wasn't, you could do it thumbnails or you could do it however, but I wanted to see, I was curious about what I was going to be able to birth. And so I did it the way I wanted to do it. And I met with people that wanted to do their thing every Sunday, and having that continuity. Yeah. I mean, and also having like that library of go at your own pace. Like manic as I was, I would stay up for hours and just go through the videos and see what it was that, I was like, oh, I need to know that. And I would just go through that, and it was there for me. I didn't have to wait. It was all, this library was just there for me. And I think one other thing I'd like to say is that the impossibility of it, it was like being embraced by an organization that it was impossible. It would have been impossible, right? Deadlines had passed, money wasn't there, that kind of thing. And somebody said yes. Somebody said yes, and I was able to be. And that yes, I'm going to carry that with me, and we all need it. We all need to know that a yes is possible, because we face so many impossibilities. And Saul was that yes for me.
It's got a heartbeat. You look forward to next time the meeting's happening with your SAW community.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, oh, it's going to happen again. I'm looking forward to that.
Demetria, I just want to say the moment I met you, I just felt here is a shining person. And I'm so glad that I met you through the GNI, and that I got to work alongside you and see you share. And this is true of all of you. Everybody who just kept going and bringing their work and pushing through their own self-doubts. And it's just been a pleasure. And thanks for reading your work tonight. And thanks everybody for coming. And Tom, did you have any final thoughts? Are you still here?
Oh, of course I'm still here.
Where are you? Raise your hand, dude.
Oh,
Where are you?
really? All right, hold on. Now's the part I get to play audience. How do I do that? Where is it? I can't. No, I just, oh, you spotlighted me or you added me. I get it. No, oh gosh, no, oh, hi.
Hello.
Oh, well, maybe I should just make this fast. No, it's so wonderful to see this. It's wonderful to see the stories. It's wonderful to hear how you got to the stories, which in every case was different. Um, and I like what Michael said, that like it's hard to know what everybody's struggling with, what everybody's blocks are. And in this case, with at least these, we you've given us the gift of finishing them and then presenting them in their finished state. And then we get to experience your struggles, but we also get to experience the finished state. And there's just something so beautiful about that. Um, and I'm just thankful. I'm in awe that there's so much love, and not only that, but also like so much insight happening, and I didn't have to provide those insights. For so long, Saw has been like this kind of thing I created, and I kind of been pushing it along, but there's so much energy there now, and I'm not responsible for it. You guys are responsible for it, and I really love that.
You made
And
a platform that counts, and
oh,
it
I
started with the
appreciate
right foundation, and
I
that grew.
appreciate that, Jason. Michael helped a whole lot too, and I appreciate Michael's stewardship here too. Yeah, so I'm really, really grateful for all of that. And I'm looking forward to, a lot of these are going to see print very soon in one or another anthology. So I can't wait for that to come out. Actually, these are all GNI students, aren't they? These are all
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is
so
a GNI
so long
party,
as you
Tom.
submit the right form and
Oh, yeah.
but no,
We're
that's
going to
gonna
be
be
in one
fabulous.
together.
A fabulous
7 of us.
collection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I'm really, really grateful for everybody being here and just coming in with new human stories for us who are greedy for human stories to take. I really appreciate it.
Roger's
There's a
asking
question in the chat.
in the
What was the
chat,
question in
yeah.
the chat?
Is there a
This one.
pre-SAW class some of us can take or wanting to take a baby step? That's a
Well,
great
the
question.
3-month one starting in February might be that one, or else, yeah, Sarah's got that. And but aside from that, we're gonna have a 4-week sort of nuts and bolts course coming in the spring too. But the mini GNI, we're calling it in February, might be a good one too.
Tom, I just want to say you created this space that it just rings with opportunity. But I think one of the things I love most about SAW is that you, and I think it trickles down from you, is this openness for everybody to discover their own way. And I think that makes
Yeah.
SAW unique from, other institutions that try to sell this is the way. And I really appreciate that about you and about SAW. And I
Yeah.
think that's why we get so many different flavors and voices and
Yeah.
backgrounds and people and artistry.
Oh, I'm really grateful for the mosaic of stories and approaches and personalities we get. So I appreciate it.
And genres.
Yeah, yeah, everything. Phew.
And I never heard of graphic medicine before I got here. And I came here as a cancer patient, chemo patient. I'm like,
Mhm.
graphic medicine. Oh, that's a whole nother concept. I'll get there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tom, I hit save chat because I couldn't read it while I was doing everything else. So
Zoom will
hopefully
save it. Zoom will have
awesome.
all
I'd like
sorts
to
of
read it
things at
later.
the end.
So I think that this is the time when usually people unmute themselves. You just give a a round of applause for all the readers tonight. I thought you all did an amazing job. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thanks, everybody.
It was so good.
Thanks for
Incredible.
coming,
Michael, let's do
everybody.
another couple, okay?
Thank you, everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
We get a big round of
Everybody.
applause for Michael.
Thank
Michael.
you.
Yeah,
Michael.
Yeah.
you all made me look good.
We love Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
All
Thank you,
right.
everyone. Thank you, Tom.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Paula.
Everybody.
Thank you.
All right.
It's a great
Well
way
done,
to
everyone.
close
Thank
out
you.
2025.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
This was a
thank you
good
so
way to
much.
close out 2025.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
Thank
coming,
you.
everybody.
Thank
You might want to
you.
plug
Thank
what
you.
Friday Night Comics is usually so people know they can come back every
Edgar.
Friday and check it
Yeah.
out again.
Every Friday. Sanju Dumay next time.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
telling me, Jason.
Thanks, Michael.
See you in the funny papers.
Night.
Happy New Year.
Happy